You're listening to the 49 Carats Podcast, a 49ers Goldmine production with Stephanie Sanchez.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the 49 Carats Podcast. I'm your host, Steph. Joining me for another prospect interview. Well, this is his first prospect interview, but we do many of these on the channel. And joining me today is Houston's football weapon. I should say. There's so many things that he does. Pass rusher, fullback, Derek Parish. Derek, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about y'all? I'm blessed, man. It's a Monday. But, had a great day to start the week, so I'm ready to get rolling.
Awesome. Love that energy. Well, for anyone tuning in with us today, make sure you hit that like button, show your support. But we're just going to get right into it with these questions. Derek, you played your entire collegiate career at Houston. What was it about Houston that, made it the right fit for you?
Man, really because it's home. I'm from Houston. I'm a Houston kid, but I always think it's funny because I think my freshman year of high school, after my shoulder surgery, I started getting a little recruitment. And my mom asked me, would I ever play for U of H? And I said, ain't no way. Because, you think you want to get recruited like West Coast, like out of state.
Yeah.
But, 6 months later, they offered me a scholarship, and I committed 3 months later. So it's funny how full circle that came, but I wouldn't change it for the world. It was awesome.
Was it kind of like a point of emphasis for you to, stay in Texas, or is that just kind of how it worked out?
Yeah, I was the Herman era recruited me, so they were, on that train, so I hopped on it until Herman left, and I just stayed when Applewhite stepped in. So.
All right. And was there a year at Houston where you felt like, you really came into your own as a player and the game just started to slow down for you?
I would probably say the end of the COVID year.
Okay.
End of the COVID year, because that was when I started getting more meaningful reps, because like we rotated, and I sat behind a first rounder at that point. So, just being blessed to get all the reps I can get at that point and like really developing through that. So I'd probably say the back half of the COVID year. Yeah.
Okay. And I know that your senior season was cut short, due to your torn bicep injury, but you were also voted a team captain going into that season. So tell me what it meant, to be voted a team captain, by your peers for that final season for you.
Man, it's really an honor. Because, the way we do it is getting voted by the players and stuff, and to be one of 8 to be voted to lead a team into battle into a game, like as a football player, that's the biggest honor you can get, is being a leader of a team of brothers, that we go through the same things each and every day. He's there like I'm there at 6:30 for the runs, like, and we just become close that way through the tough times, and getting voted by them is a huge honor and blessing.
Well, I don't think anyone can doubt that you're a team player, right? Just like the different positions that you've stepped in and you've been able to play. And you started at defensive end, linebacker, at fullback. You're also a great special teamer. You could do it all. And I know PFF just earlier today they released this list of highest career grades among eligible edge rushers, and you topped the list at 91.2.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
That's pretty cool. That must feel pretty good. Seeing some of the other names on the list, and like you topped them all for pass rushing. When you're rushing the passer, do you have a favorite move or like a go-to?
I do, but for the sake of the chess game, I'm gonna keep it in my back pocket.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna let them see it on film.
Yeah,
I do have a couple moves that are my favorite. But I would just say like it's really more of a chess game than having a favorite. Kind of that's
right.
How I see it. But all of them work at some point in some time of the game.
Right. It
set
definitely,
it up right.
And it definitely depends who you're going up against and whatnot, and
definitely
what that opponent is weak against. So kind of on that note, I don't know if it's true just for the Shanahan system or if this is true for all fullbacks, but I remember Kyle Juszczyk once said that, as a fullback, you kind of have to know just as much as the quarterback. And so when it comes to film study, because there's so many positions that you have played, and you've played both sides of the ball. Like, how do you think that that's going to help you at the next level? The fact that you've had to, do film study for both sides of the ball, and you have this deeper understanding of it. How do you think that's going to help you?
I think I think it already kind of has. Like, I think in the meeting room, it's going to help me greatly because, once you understand, I understood a defensive playbook pretty well and can understand and break it down on film. But playing fullback and at Shrine, also deep diving into an offensive playbook, it was kind of easy to comprehend and pick up because of where I knew the defensive fits were in terms of combating each other. So it was pretty good on my IQ play. I think that's going to help me just understand the football as a whole in the game of X's and O's. So I do agree with that. And Kyle Juszczyk saying that about watching film like a QB. So I respect that statement.
Yeah. And I know that will definitely help you at the next level to, understand all these different positions. But what about a skill set of yours that you pride yourself most in? What would you say that is?
I would say a motor and just tenacity and kind of like a physical style play, because you can't teach that. I mean, so you got to respect those players that kind of have that in their bag, and I think that's one of the most valuable tools because you can always get better at the game of football.
Yeah.
But those traits are, I feel like are what's inside you that you have to find.
So where do you think that high motor comes from? Because, yeah, I mean, that's one of the obvious things that pops out, with, watching you, right? So where do you think that mentality comes from?
I think just how bad you want it based. It's a decision you make. It's a choice, really. Just deciding how bad you want it, and how hard it is to get in that top level. And it's 1% league,
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to go beyond measures, kind of look at yourself in the mirror and go beyond measures to get there. And I think once you have that mindset, it's, like I said, it's a choice coming out of practice to get better at 6:30 in the morning, stuff like that.
Right. I love it. And so for the most part, you line up in a 2-point stance. Is that what you're most comfortable with? Could you see yourself ever being a more hands in the dirt type of rusher if a team wanted you to do that, or, what's that for you?
I mean, I have rushed in a 3 before. I used to do that before I was taught a 2-point stance, but I mean, I go 2-point stance. I feel like it's comfortable. It's easy to load, get off, things of that nature. So, I mean, I kind of took a liking to it and stuck with it.
All right. Now, if you had to describe yourself as a player using just one word, what would it be?
Tenacity.
Tenacity. All right.
Tenacity.
I like that. I mean, kind of, going based off what we were just talking about, right? The high motor and all that. So you definitely have that. That's a great one. Well, you participated in the Shrine Bowl, and you were one of the standouts there. So congrats on that. How did it feel to get that invite?
It was a huge blessing. I feel like I skated in, but I feel like that's all I needed was just to get in, because I was an edge rusher. I didn't do any fullback in those first 4 games, and it was like, hey, you want to play fullback? I said, let's do it. I can do it. I'm ready. Let's do it. And at that point, I was just cleared to do practice and all that for my bicep, but just being able to stand on those 4 games and squeeze into the Shrine Bowl is a huge blessing. I just wanted to make the most of every opportunity there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it doesn't matter how you get in, right? It's what you do.
You got to get
there,
in,
right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, you definitely got to show off your versatility. The closer you get to the NFL and the more teams that you've gotten the chance to talk to, are you getting a greater sense as to what position you think you'll primarily be playing at the next level, or are you hearing kind of different things from different teams?
Different things from different teams, definitely. Some see me as this, some see me as that. And I mean, I just tell them, I can do what you need me to do. Whatever you need me to play, I'm going to play and help the team win, all special teams, all that. But some have seen me more offense and others defense. But I mean, I think I'm confident I'm going to be ready for each opportunity, each shot on both sides.
Now, is there one position that you prefer personally? I know you'd be happy to play any position for any team, but just personally, is there one you kind of prefer or are more comfortable with?
Man, honestly, I really couldn't tell you because these are the two positions I played in Little League. So it's like it kind of came full circle. I love to do both. I really couldn't choose. But like over the time of my career, my heart has been with defense.
Hmm.
And I don't know, catching a touchdown might feel as good as getting a sack. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I really couldn't put a stamp on it. Either one, I'll be blessed. So
Do you feel like so clearly like whatever team does draft you and if they want to play you at one position, do you feel like that's the end all be all position or like, would you go to that team and be like, "Hey coach, like I'm down to play both sides," or like, wherever you want me?
I've actually thought of that. Like, say, I don't know, like, say position gets me as fullback. As me just being fullback, I would go over there after practice with the pass rushers, work extra with them. Like, I still want to sink my teeth, into any organization. I want to, do everything I can. So even if it's on the side, figure it out, do it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So,
Is that just because you
earn it
love
the hard way.
football? Is it just because you love football that much? Because like you're already in the NFL, right? So it's not like you need to like impress some teams. Is it just because like you want to have that extra exposure to playing these two positions that you love?
I think, yeah, definitely. Like, just I've been playing football since I was 6. So, and I think it's the best job in the world. So I want to be the best at it and play as long as I can. So
Yeah,
if
no,
that's my passion, I'm going to put everything I got into it.
that's cool. No, that's definitely like admirable. Like, because again, like once you're in, it's like you could be happy just playing one position. But I mean, if you want to play both, like I think that speaks to the passion that you have for the game and how you've been able to play both positions thus far. Well, Houston had their pro day last week. How did you feel like that went? Like, were you pretty happy with how you tested?
I was exceptionally happy with how I tested. Really, uh, I think I peaked on all my numbers. I had good numbers. I feel I looked smooth in the drills. I felt like I didn't drop any balls. So I mean, just I came out with confidence in my performance in my testing.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. And now that pro day's over, like I know the training for pro day is so much different than like actual football
Definitely.
training. So like what's different these days? Like how's your training looking like right now?
I mean, it was definitely a lot. That was probably the most extensive training block, 2 blocks I've done in the past. Really in football training from January to February. But I mean, it was a blast. Like we were still doing football work, but we were learning how to sprint. We're getting stronger, faster, more like functional. It was over at Bombritos in Florida.
Oh,
So
okay.
they take care of their athletes. I'm sorry, that was a B. They take care of their athletes. They take care of their athletes great, and you definitely come out a better athlete, better ball player
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Is there something in particular that you're looking to improve on before, getting to the next level?
So really, just who I am as a player. I mean, there's always going to be aspects that come up that you can improve on, and as they come up is when I intend to, sharpen those tools. So
Yeah, absolutely. And so you told me that you didn't meet with the 49ers at the Shrine Bowl. As much as you can recall, because I know that was a bit ago, and you've probably met with like several teams in between all that, right? How did that
yeah,
meeting go?
I think it went well. I'm confident. I think they run you through those questions, and you tell the truth, all that. So I think it went well. I'm confident. I can I portray my value to any organization that I talk to, especially the 49ers. So
And like, after your pro day, do you kind of feel like there's been a weight lifted off your shoulders a little bit because you got that out of the way? Now you can focus on the team visits, the meetings, and
hmm
all that.
definitely, it's definitely a breath of like you can finally breathe after because like that's your one audition, that's your closest
Yeah.
audition to the draft day, and you want to put on a performance and showcase. But definitely like now it'll be fun to get back to being a ball player instead of combine ready, pro day ready. So that's exciting, and I'm ready to get back to it.
And I know that there's a lot of Houston players that are embarking on this journey with you, right? And I was fortunate enough to have D'Anthony Jones on the podcast, last
Yeah,
month.
D'Anthony,
So
that's
like,
my guy.
Yeah, no, he was awesome. Like, are all of you guys kind of like bouncing advice off of each other? Like, how have you guys kind of been leveraging, experiences?
Oh yeah, definitely. We definitely stay in touch and get feedback from how we're doing and what's going on. So I mean, we're a tight bunch, so we always talk. We talk almost every day, and yeah, just learning about how they're doing, what we're doing, how they getting better week. So it's definitely a trusted process that we have between each other.
Well, I know you mentioned that you did some training earlier today, so you're now probably like, resting in your recovery. So I'm gonna let you get out of here, but I have one last question for you. I like to end all my interviews with this one. What is a fan base getting with Derek Parish, both on and off the field?
And they're getting someone who's willing to work, someone who's willing to sink their teeth in the community in any city. Help, I want to be community based, and man, they're gonna get it. They're gonna get a little bit of entertainment too. I feel like it's NFL's entertainment business as well, and I mean, I feel like shows, make a play, celebrate for the crowd. I think fans love that stuff, so I always like doing that. So that's what we're gonna get.
For sure. Okay. Well, Derek, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure getting to know you, and good luck. The draft is a month away at this point, so good luck. Gonna be rooting for you, and yeah, have a good rest of your day here.
You as well. You have a great rest of your week, and appreciate you having me on here, man. It was awesome.
Of course. All you guys tuning in, make sure you guys like this video and subscribe to the channel because there will be plenty more content like this to come. Make sure you guys tune in. At the top of the hour, I'll be live once again to talk about the owners' meetings. John Lynch had some interesting things to say today, so make sure you guys tune into that. But for now, have a good rest of your Monday evening, people. Peace.
Peace. Appreciate it. Thanks.